สวัสดีค่ะ เดี๋ยวขอรอถึงเวลาสักครู่นะคะ Hi everyone. We just wait for another couple minutes and then we will start the sections. All right. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rati Suk as a senior commercial manager at Talentwiz Academy. Thank you, everyone, for joining our free webinars. And today we are proud to partner with Noble Prox to bring you a training sections on management and team development. Let me share the screen 1 second. Okay, so the topics today, which is the management and team development, led by Mr. Jonathan, Managing Director at Noble Proc. Okay, so these sections will cover key topics such as leadership versus management, developing and successful teams, performance management, successfully delivering change, and handling conflicts. And we will end this section by Q&A. Okay, for Mr. Jonathan is an experienced trainer, having delivered courses on financial markets, pricing strategies, strategic planning, leaderships, and more. If you would like to explore additional courses from Nobleprox and others, please visit our website www.talentwizacademy.com and enjoy a 5% discount on your first bookings. So without further ado, please join me in welcoming Mr. Jonathan from Nobleprox. Hi, Mr. Jonathan. Oh, okay, let me check. Uh, 1 second. All right. Sorry, Mr. Nashan. I will check with the team. 1 second.
Okay, I'm in. Yeah, there
Okay.
you go. Can
Hi,
you
it's
hear me?
Mr. Jonathan. Yes, we are here.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for the introduction. Very generous. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. And thank you for the time you have given us. We'll be together for maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours at most. Don't want to take too much of your time. So we are here today to talk about management and team development. And hopefully, at the end of the session, micro learning session, you'd have enough learnings, and your interests will be further enhanced by enrolling into a full course to enable you to handle your team, whether it's small team or mid-sized team or a large team. Okay, so let me share my screen. Uh, see. Oh, my sharing also is disabled. I cannot share my screen.
Let me check a moment, please. Sorry about
Yeah,
that.
it says only meeting organizers and presenters can share, but I cannot share at the moment. Yeah. Okay, anyway, while you are working that out, maybe I'll just jumble a bit the presentation order and ask some volunteers on why are you here today in less than a minute. Can you share with us why you have given us your time today and what you expect to get out of this 2-hour session. Any volunteers? Or I look at the attendees and get a volunteer? Would that work better? Maybe okay. Uh, Guangzhou. Guangzhou, okay. Can you let us know why you decided to join us this afternoon? I think they're all muted as well. Can they unmute themselves on their own? Because I couldn't a while ago.
Yes, I think the participants can unmute, but if they cannot, if you guys cannot unmute but would like to answer to Mr. Jonathan question, can you just like type in the chat box?
Yeah, that
Yeah,
can
I
work.
think
So
that is can work.
I just want to have a better idea as to your expectations so that we can make some changes as we go along. So how do I call you? Kwang or Jaru? Kwang Jaru?
Yes.
Or maybe I move on to Warisa. Warisa.
Hi. Hi, Kunavisa. Why you joined this meeting section?
Hi,
What
good
do you?
afternoon, Mr. Jonathan.
Hi, hi.
Hi.
Nice. For the questions is about what's your expected for these
Yeah.
sections, right? After joining these sections, what you expect to get from these sections?
I hope that training. I hope that way of training, new way of training, uh, all management team and
Okay.
can uh can can plan for team for strong team together.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think thank you, Warisa. I think we'll be able to do that this afternoon. And hopefully you'll have some takeaways to be able to achieve that um, for you and your team and your organization. Thank you very much. How about Chaya Don? Did I say it right? Chaya Don Kuktawintu. Can you share with us your expectation for this afternoon?
Hello.
Hi, hi.
Okay. I come to find new knowledge in human management and development next year. Yep.
Okay, okay, all right. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, I still cannot seem to share my screen. I joined through the link sent to me through email.
Yes. Actually,
So mm,
actually, I
should
think
there?
it should be able to share the screen, but I have my team to check on that. One
Okay,
second.
all right. Uh,
Um, okay. I'm not sure that would you mind to send the screen to our teams? I will let my team to share first.
the screen the materials you mean? I sent it
Yes.
last week.
All right. Okay,
I
Kun
sent
Eve,
it
can
through
you?
PDF because it's too big a material. And there's a
Yes.
video I'd like to show later, so I won't be able to send it as is.
All right. So can we use that?
Yeah,
That's mature. Okay. So
yeah. But later on in the presentation, I will need access to it
yes,
as
but Jonathan, you already access via by your email, Jonathan at studio@nobleproc.com,
yeah,
right?
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
actually we put as the presenter already. All right. Okay. Because you will have a specific link on the meetings
Yes.
and you join from that.
Yes, but I joined from our, maybe I need to join from the browser. I'm not sure.
Yes, because for the presenters, the Microsoft team will send the specific links to your
Okay,
emails.
okay. Okay. I am okay, join now. Okay, okay, there you go. Sorry about the technical.
You mute. You mute Mr. Jonathan. You
I still
on mute.
cannot,
Okay.
it's still disabled. So I use the, yeah. What happened a while ago was I joined using our Microsoft Teams. So I came out there and now I am here using the link you gave me with as guest, I think, but I still
Mm,
cannot share my screen.
okay. You bit. Okay. Sorry, guys. 1 second.
Okay, now it's working. All right. Uh, give me a second. Okay. Okay. Can you see my screen now, guys? Sorry about that.
Not very. We still cannot.
Still cannot. Okay. Uh-huh. Window share. Is that working?
No, I cannot see your screen.
Hmm. It's already shared.
Okay, I will share for you first.
Do you see it now? No, not yet.
No, I still cannot share. I still cannot see it. But
Hmm.
but now I'm sharing my screen.
Okay.
All right. Can you see my screen now?
Not yet.
Everyone can see my screen?
Yes, I can see.
Okay. Actually, Mr. Jonathan, you can continue with the.
Okay, so yeah, let's go to the fourth slide and we'll go to the objectives. So the objectives for this afternoon is number one, to understand the different skills required for managing and leading. These are two different things. All right. You can manage a team, but you may fail to lead them. Okay. And on the other hand, you can also lead a team, but fail to manage them to meet their objectives, to meet their targets or their purpose as a team. Okay. The other would be to be able to develop teams in the most effective way. Um, I've seen managers, great mentors, even great leaders, but they were ineffective when they were managing teams that were not created and molded in the most effective way. And one reason is because they're not able to manage staff performance better. And that's what we're going to do this afternoon as well, to see how we can manage staff performance better. Now, in being able to manage performance better, there will be instances or events in the future, at present, that may be what we call a curveball. It can be a big change. And so this afternoon also, I'd like to talk about delivering change, how you can make your team accept and manage change. It's not all people are really geared to manage change right away. They need to be managed themselves first before they can manage change. And lastly, to be able to develop an effective team, you need to be able to know how to deal with, shall I say, difficult situations in the office, or shall I say, conflicts, right, between individuals. Or maybe not between individuals, but maybe between these individuals' perspectives or views. They may like each other personally, but they have different views. You need to be able to deal with those difficult situations. Clear so far? Okay, let's move on. Let's go to the next slide, which shows leadership versus management. There's a whole world of difference. Maybe some people will think of leadership. Oh, I'm a manager in the office. I manage a team of five, so I exercise leadership. Sadly, that is not true in a lot of cases. You may be a good manager, you may have the technical skills because you've been able to grow in that particular area for the past maybe 5, 10, 15 years, and you're an expert in that field. But without leadership, the failure to lead your team effectively towards a specific and unified goal may not happen. All right. So let me talk about that for a few minutes. Let's go to the next slide, which says leadership versus management. Okay. So this is an introduction to what is leadership. Okay. Let's go to the next slide. What is leadership? Well, uh, we can have different definitions of what leadership is. But let me tell you what leadership means to myself. Okay. It can be leading a group of people. All right. Through your words, through your instructions, through your actions. Okay. Through your written memo. Okay. The written instructions. It can also mean influencing people, right? By the way you live your life, by the way you relate to other people, okay, by your actions, by your examples, okay. It can also be by commanding people, right? Leadership in, for example, in a military context can mean, these are your missions. These are my ground commanders, and let's have a command conference, and these are your specific roles. Okay. It can also mean guiding people. Okay. You don't issue edicts. You don't issue decrees left and right, but you are the head of for example, in this slide, you are the head of the Catholic Church, which has thousands of years in doctrines, in teachings, in scriptures, and that is the way you guide people, by standing as the beacon of those teachings, of those doctrines. Okay. Let's go to the next slide. So we'll go focus more on what are the difference between leadership and management. So on the left, you'd see managers. Number one, they focus on things. Okay, they focus maybe on the budget. They focus on the tools. I need 5 new desktops. Okay, I need a big bandwidth connection. Okay, so that my team will be able to communicate to the outside world, to our customers, in an effective and fast manner. But leaders, on the other hand, focus more on people, on who will execute those things for the customers, for example, right? Next would be managers need to do things right. That's expected of managers. They need to do things right. They need to adhere to, let's say, the company vision and mission. They need to adhere, let's say, to the business plan for the year. All right. On the other hand, leaders need to do the right things. What do I mean? It may mean that they need to make difficult decisions on behalf of the team. A difficult decision can mean that we need to do at this time, at this place, at this hour, the other things necessary which were not planned.
Mr. Jonathan, we
Yeah.
have one participant have a questions.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Okay, please คุณเกตการเชิญค่ะ
Actually, it's not a question, but I just worry that the slide is not moving. I just see only the first slide right now.
We are now on the 8th slide.
Yeah, but in my slide it's not moving. And
Okay. Let me try again to
โอเคค่ะ
share. I'm not sure why it's not sharing.
one second นะคะ
May I interrupt just a second? I'm sorry for the technical issue. Mr. Jonathan, could you please?
Yeah.
I'm just send the new link to Kun Velta. Could you please try and log in, like use that link to the
Okay.
meeting
Okay.
again? Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yes, I sent to Jonathan already.
Okay. Let me see if I can share now. Uh, do you guys see this?
Yes. Perfect.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, all right. So you can also hear me right now. All right, great. So where was I? Let's start from the beginning again. So I said that managers focus on things, doing the right things, what is based on the company's mission and vision, maybe. But leaders focus on people, more on people that will execute those things. So he leads that group of people. Managers do things right. That's expected of them, as I'm saying. That's expected because they have the technical skills to do the technical part, and they make sure that the people in the team do it right. But leaders sometimes are called to do the right things. And my example a while ago is that maybe you need to change direction because of an unexpected event, right? And a leader is called upon to recognize that and make the team realize that we need to change direction. And changing direction can be sometimes painful for the whole team because maybe they need to add more resources, a new team member. Maybe they need to change resources, change a team member. And a leader expected to do that all the time when that is recognized by the right leader. Okay. Managers also plan. So, you come up with a business plan, and a manager is expected to be able to lead and drive in making that plan with his team. On the other hand, leaders are expected to inspire their team members by their example. A while ago, I said about leaders guiding, influencing, right? And inspiring. They can inspire even if they're commanding, because the troops, the soldiers, the team members are able to see this leader knows what he's talking about based on experience, because of his knowledge, um, because of his skills, right? And so we are inspired to follow his every word. Managers next would need to be able to organize, right? And organizing will not just mean, okay, we have a meeting today. Let's have a 30-minute meeting to be able to talk about, and then the right manager would be able to organize by laying down the agenda for the meeting. Because building the agenda will build the discussion, and hopefully will be able to lead to a solution for whatever problem or whatever requirements are needed to be done by the team. Okay. On the other hand, leaders should be able to influence. Okay. Influence may mean uh, guiding them. All right. Everything is organized, but to guide them to come up with their own solutions. One attribute of a good leader would be to be able to identify the talents inherent in each team member. A team member can be good in, say, technical or scientific solutions. Another team member can be good in or would have the beginnings of having skills in creating visions, right? And so the leader should be able to influence each team member to bring out whatever their strengths are. A manager should be able to direct, okay? To direct the plan, to make sure that everything is within the plan itself. But a leader should be able to motivate. And there are a lot of motivating tools that a leader can do. It can be a carrot, it can be a stick, more of the carrot, I should say, all right, from my experience. A manager should be able to control. Uh, let's go back to focus on things. Should be able to control the resources available. That's what you have. Okay. But a leader needs to build something from those resources. Okay. And lastly, a manager follows the rules. But a leader, more than following the rules, should be able to get out and see what else can we do outside of the framework we are being given. Okay. So still on leadership versus management, when it comes to, let's say, on these three areas, organizational activity, or for example, deciding what to do, managers should be able to plan to produce orderly change, for example. But leaders should be able to create an exciting vision and exciting strategies. What's in it for the team members? Yeah, they're being commanded to, we need to have some changes in the office. We need to have some changes in the team. But a good leader recognizes that to be able to make that effective, to make the change effective for the organization, and shall I say for the bigger organization, not just for the team, he or she should create an exciting vision for the team. This is how we will be in the future. This is how we can be in the future. Or this is how the organization will be. Therefore, you can be in the future. That's what leadership is all about. Now, in getting people and other resources in place to do it, um, a good manager should be able to, well, it says here focus on the organization structure, but I can argue that a good manager should also be able to come up, not just focus, but to come up with the right organization structure, knowing the strengths and weaknesses of his team, knowing the available resources, how many laptops do we have, how much office space do we have, how much budget do we have for marketing, and so on and so on, including the rewards given to each organization and member. That's what a good manager does, right? But the leader goes outside of that and uses many tools of communication, all right? It can be even nonverbal communication to align each of his team members to a common objective, right? To be able
Sorry, Sir
to,
Nathan.
yeah,
Could you please make a slide full screen, please?
sorry,
Could you make a slide full screen, please?
I don't, sorry, I don't think I understand.
Okay, can you make a slide as a full screen, please? Like a slideshow? Oh,
It is full screen,
no, not yet.
not full screen.
Maybe, yes.
Oh,
Can you go to the tab on the tops of your screen?
yeah,
Yes, and put as a slideshows.
yes. Sorry, top of the screen. I'm going to sharing, right? And
Okay.
then I'm going to share and, oh, entire screen. No, a window. Okay.
Okay, you just move the circles to the tops. Can you see your circles on the tops? And it's have the screen and play.
Sorry,
Um,
uh,
it's on the top of the design tabs. Can you see on the top of your screen?
the PowerPoint screen.
Yes. So you can see your screen, and then it's have the tabs on the top, which is the fly, home, insert, door, and design, right?
I don't think I can see that.
Okay, so now you're in this.
You can see my
Yes, I
screen
can see your screen.
presentation,
Yes, and I
right?
yes, and I'm
And
going to
then,
tell you how to do the entire the screen.
okay,
Okay, so you move your circles.
okay.
Okay, I can see your circles. Where is your circles?
Oh, full screen mode. You mean
Yes,
this one?
yes.
Is this already
That's
full screen?
yeah.
Okay,
Actually, it's Canon. Yes, that better. Thank you.
okay, all right. Uh, Sorry about the technical challenges. Okay, so I was talking about using communications to align people to a common objective, to empower them so that they all their skills and talent are brought to light. Okay, And next is ensuring that it gets done. Management or manager should be able to have control mechanisms, right? And corrective action. Control mechanisms can be regular meetings to make sure that everyone is on the right page and nobody is outside of that page. Okay, but leadership calls for motivation and empowerment and to energize people. You may be on the right page, but maybe next day a team member can say, I'm just so tired. I was so burnt out yesterday. I don't want to go to the office today. A good leader will be able to use uh, maybe the stress, the challenges of the day into motivation and tell his or her people that the next day, this is what we expect to happen. So things will get better. That's one way to motivate. That's one way to energize your people. Okay, leadership styles. Leadership styles. Right. Yeah. There are many leadership styles, and maybe what I'll do is maybe let me get back to the team and ask them this time. Pianat, Pianat. Okay. Can you hear me? What's your leadership style? Hello? Can you hear me? Or maybe can I ask Carmela, if you were a leader, what's your leadership style?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. This is Carmela.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm the training coordinator from Noble Prop. If I will choose, I think manager style.
Manager style. What do you mean?
Manager
Control
style.
people?
Sorry.
You control people?
Um, yes, or
Okay.
um, yes.
Okay. All right.
Thank.
Yeah. Sure. Sure. Thank you. So let's go to the leadership styles. There are different leadership styles, and A style says that you articulate shared dreams. You provide your team members with the big picture. This is what's happening outside, guys. This is what we need to do. Okay. We are in competition with, let's say, five other companies to get market share, right? The big picture is it's a big market. Okay, so everybody gets excited and say, yes, we can have a good size of that market share. Okay, and everybody now is being able to be inspired by your leadership style to see what their individual roles and contributions are. Okay, it's just like a sports team. Okay, I'll be the defender. You'll play offense. I'll be the one calling out the play. You'll be the one scoring. Okay, so you have different skills, right? And at the same time, you inspire people towards shared dreams. Okay, your shared dreams can be we get X% of market share because of that. Management will give us profit bonuses or year-end bonuses, and so your shared dream will be towards that market share number because there will be rewards after that. B style is different in the sense that that style helps individuals with their strengths and limits. You know, I've seen failures, big failures in the office by managers insisting that this and that team member is able to do this and that achievement, which never happened because they were not able to identify the strengths and the weaknesses of each of these team members. And the sad part is, if only these managers were able to identify the correct strengths and weaknesses of each team member. Like a musical conductor, he will be able to put a good music together and come up with a perfect melody to achieve their goals. That's leadership style, P style. It connects individual behaviors with goals. Okay, one can be towards the arts, the other can be towards the sciences, the other can be towards, let's say, being able to do the dirty stuff to help the team. The other one is being groomed as a leader in the future, therefore, is able to create or to, shall I say, not create, but be the next in line to the leader and create his own or her own vision for the team. The C style is different from the A style in the sense that it values people's feelings. It's more empathy. Okay, offering support. Whatever happens, I'll be here for you. I will own up to whatever happens to whatever actions we are taking. Okay, um, it it allows that leader to connect to people and see what may be the best time for them to do these things, the more difficult things, what may be the best way to connect to people, maybe not through verbal communication, but maybe through more non-verbal that, actions that shows empathy. That can be very, very effective to some team members. And I've seen in the past team members, being touched by this and offering their 100% loyalty to the group's objectives. The D style is getting inputs and listening before decisions are finalized and implemented. This style recognizes that uh, people would have different points of view because of different backgrounds, different educational attainments, maybe different interests, right? Different struggles in the past, different experiences. And so the important thing is to be able to get their inputs, get their points of view, harmonize it together, or shall I say, synthesize them together, all right, and come up with courses of action that will have buy-ins from each team member. And the easiest way to get a buy-in from each team member is to get them involved in the decision-making process. It's wonderful for a team member to say, "Oh, that is what we're going to do," and so that is that is that is my input in what we are going to do. The E style is holding and exemplifying and demanding high standards of performance from yourself and others. I relate to this because many years ago I was under a leader who embodied this style. She had high standards, which to my mind then, in my younger years, were such lofty, such high standard that to me then was impossible to meet. Okay, such lofty goals. Okay, and she held us all to her own high standard. Day by day, slowly but surely, all right, I began to realize, if you take one step at a time, that we can have that high standard. We can meet that very lofty goal. And true enough, we were able to as a team. And at the end of the day, when we had, let's call it a post-mortem of savoring our success, we were made to realize by our leader then that each of us had our own contribution in being able to reach those objectives. Okay. Every day, maybe not every day, I'm exaggerating, but very often you'd hear of words like excellence. Oh, we demand excellence from you. I demand excellence from you, Jonathan. And at that time, it seemed like a very esoteric word, you know, when you were young. It seemed like it's way up there that, you know, it's very ambiguous or abstract, if you will, right? But as each day unfolded, each month unfolded, I began to realize that, hey, excellence is not abstract, it's something concrete. And something concrete because we are able to hold ourselves to high standards. When we committed to reach this target, we were able to reach that target. And lastly, the F style says that a leader is giving orders and demanding compliance. He is authoritative. He commands respect, all right? But he also provides clarity of direction. Now, let me clarify this. You may misunderstand this as something like, oh, it's being like a dictator, you know. It's not leadership. It's not. It's more like managing by creating rules, by creating regulations, by creating sanctions if we don't follow those rules. It's not, okay? Because the F style, while it says that it's authoritative, the authority is earned by that leader who uses this style. He is not given authority because there's a piece of paper coming from the CEO of the company saying that, oh, you need to follow this guy. No, his leadership was created because he was able to prove to everyone that he can achieve things. But in achieving these objectives, his past achievements, okay, he needed to conform to a certain style that would be more controlling than the other styles, maybe. All right. But in giving orders and demanding compliance, these team members gladly do so because he had the credibility to do so. Okay. Any questions before I continue, guys? All clear? Okay. So, in summary, so we talked about leadership style A, B, C, D, E, F. What are they? Leadership style A is visionary. Okay? It provides vision, it provides clarity, it provides a picture of the future. That's leadership style A. Leadership style B is more of coaching, getting to know what are the weaknesses so that you can spend maybe more time in minimizing, if not taking away that weakness and maximizing the strength of each team member. Okay. Letter C is affiliative. Okay, meaning that it's really more like showing empathy. Okay, I'm one of you. I know this. I've gone through it. Right. D would be, shall I say, democratic. That's the word I choose. But maybe consensual or forming consensus among team members would be more accurate, right? Because it considers the points of view, the inputs, the thoughts, the decision-making process of each team member. Letter E rather, is space setting, right? It provides the right tools, it provides the right direction. And finally, letter F will be commanding leadership style, okay? Authoritative, that comes from not a piece of paper, but comes from earning it from each team member. So I leave this with you as leadership style because it's important. Um, to be good leaders, okay, you need to be able to think about who you are. What are your attributes? What's your overall character? Do I have the patience to listen to each point of view? Do I have enough empathy in me, okay, to be able to get the feelings of each of my team members, okay? Do I have enough vision of the future? Am I a visionary that I can see into the future and I can stake my reputation, everything, to be able to show people that this is what's going to happen if we do this, if we do that. Okay, or am I the type of person uh, who relishes, not maybe relishes, but finds more way of effective way of leading by giving out orders, by commanding. But before I do that, I need to be able to create credibility with my people. Okay. All right. Let's now go to the next part, which is developing a successful team. So we've just a recap, guys. We've talked about uh, segregating what are the characteristics of a good manager, what are the characteristics of a good leader, okay, and the type of leadership styles that are out there at the moment, okay, that we've seen, okay. And now we go to how to develop a successful team after we know what it is to be a leader. Okay. So, what is a team? What is a team? Um, a team is a group. It's different from a group. Okay. A group is just, just like what we have now. We're a group of people inside an MS Teams meeting room. You listening to me and me talking to you, that's a group. But a team is much more than that. A team is a group of people with a set of skills that should be complementary. They should have different skills that complement each other, okay, required to complete something. A, a job, an objective, a project even, right? And characteristics would be they operate with a high degree of interdependence. It cannot be a team if there's no dependence with each other. I depend on you to create this, therefore after you create that, I'll be able to go on to the next step to create something that I was asked to do. Okay, so there's the interdependence there. Number two is they must share authority and responsibility for self-management. Maturity is needed, right? Um, a team member cannot look over the shoulder of another team member. Okay, that particular team member should be able to manage, should have discipline to be able to do what is expected of him or her. Okay. The next is they should be accountable for collective performance. Each team member sink or swim with each other. There's no two ways about it. That's how I put it. You need to be accountable for your collective performance. If you fail, everyone is accountable. If you succeed, everyone should receive the accolade. And lastly, they should work toward a common goal and shared rewards. It will not be an effective team if the rewards are not given to everyone. Okay, and they will not go after the rewards if they don't work towards a common goal. If they work independently of each other, if they go their own separate ways. I remember just recently I heard this, and this is a beautiful saying that if you want to go fast, you need to run alone. Okay? Get to your destination fast. You need to run alone. But If you want to achieve a lot of things, you need to run together. Okay. Or if you need to go far, you need to run together. That encapsulates what I want to share about what a team is. Okay. And a team is not just a team that, you know, is formed and then you work towards an objective. There's a process, or there are stages of team development. Let's go through it quite briefly. Okay. Um, During the first stage, the forming stage, team members are quite positive. Okay, because they're just being formed. Oh, there's this new guy. I like him. I've heard a lot about him, and I'm very happy to work with him. They're polite, but at the same time, it makes them excited that, ooh, it's a new team, so we're gonna be able to achieve success in the future. I'm so excited. Okay, but that's just the first part. The second part is during the storming stage, when conflicts begin due to differences. We're individuals. That's why we're called individuals. We have our own individual quirks. We have our own individual beliefs, styles, maybe, um, individual inspirational moments, maybe. Okay. So during the storming stage, that's where it begins to surface. Oh, I didn't realize he doesn't want to work with me. Okay. I didn't realize that he doesn't want to talk to me about my own points of view. He just considers his own point of view. So that's where conflicts begin. During the norming stage, however, this is where the team leader is expected to resolve all these conflicts. Okay. And that's to me, it's the most tricky part, because this is where teams are made or are broken. Okay. And so the team leader should be able to exercise carefully whatever style he may want to have, exercise carefully his leadership authority to be able to resolve conflicts. There's one reason why each team member has been put together, and that's in recognition of their own individual skills. Now, a team leader would be a big failure if he or she is not able to appreciate each weakness and strength and harmonize it so that these conflicts are resolved. In a professional setting, that should not be a difficult thing to achieve, because each is expected to engage themselves professionally. Okay. The next part is where the excitement begins. That's where you perform. That's where a lot of things happen. A lot of things are created. A lot of positive things um, are done by the team. Okay, because you now know each other. You have a team leader who harmonizes you, and where there are problems or challenges along the way, you know, the team leader is able to harmonize everyone, that the team, in some cases without being told, are able to overcome those challenges themselves. Now, that's the work of a good leader. And lastly, adjoining, if the team is created for an ad hoc project, or an ad hoc requirement, then that's when the team is either expanded or dissolved by the organization. Any questions? No questions? If there are no questions, maybe let's, well, it's not a break, but it's a break from my lecture, from my talk. So I hope this works. Uh, let's watch a video for me to be able to propound to you better what a team is. Can you all see this?
A small business's success depends on how well its employees work together and work as a team at all levels. Employees who don't work together as a team are less likely to reach business goals and initiatives, and a negative and disruptive environment can develop at work. In today's video, we'll discuss some attributes associated with good and bad teamwork. Before we continue, make sure you hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. Click on the bell icon to get notified of new videos immediately. Have you done that? Good, let's get started. A team, or a work team, is a group of people with complementary skills who work together to achieve a specific goal. Members of a working group work independently and meet primarily to share information and ideas. Key characteristics of good versus bad teamwork. Number 1, sharing ideas. A good team shares good ideas and thoughts, while a bad team gossips, talks about problems, and blames one another. A good team learns from its mistakes, shares and uses new ideas, and maintains a positive attitude. Whenever bad teams fail, they tend to blame each other. Number 2, celebrating success. A good team encourage each other and get ideas from one another's successes, while a bad team are always envious of other people's successes. Good teams maintain healthy levels of competition. Bad team members get upset when other people do well. Number 3, commitment. A good team works together to achieve its goals, while a bad team focuses on its own self-interest. A good team knows that commitment is essential to success. The bad team doesn't make any promises. Number 4, taking risks. A good team will take on high-risk challenges, while a bad team will not plan together and lose games. Leaders of good teams are always those who are willing to take risks. The leaders of bad teams, on the other hand, always find reasons not to take chances. Number 5, growth-oriented. A good team helps its members grow, while a bad team does not care about its teammates' growth. Good team members keep each other going because it's their moral duty to help each other grow and do more and more. Teams that aren't good don't help each other grow. Number 6, open communication. Good teams make communication easy. Teams without an open culture tend to fail. In good teams, members are always willing to talk about ideas for improvement, whereas in bad teams, members play dirty games to annoy each other. Number 7, exploring options. As the law of attraction states, what you think becomes real. Good teammates always see opportunities in every situation, while people who are different from them always see problems. Good team members look for opportunities in every situation, while members of bad teams find ways to blame everything around them. Number 8, learning aptitude. Good teams look for ways to learn, while bad teams look for excuses not to learn. Learning is the first step to getting what you want in life, but people on bad teams don't care about getting more information or improving their skills. Number 9, think positively. A good team is made of people who think positively. On good teams, people talk and think positively, while on bad teams, people worry about failing. It is impossible for good things to happen when bad things are discussed and held onto on bad teams. Number 10, negative outcomes. When people don't work well together, it can cause confusion on the team, in the department, and throughout the company. The most common signs of poor teamwork between departments include not sharing the right information and not coordinating each other's needs. Businesses can lose money if they don't solve problems and don't take steps to fix them, such as not talking to each other or not performing as one team. A lack of a clear plan and a failure to clearly communicate goals and expectations leads to bad teamwork. A continuous feedback system on what people have done well and how well they have done it can prevent poor teamwork and failure in a team environment. It is possible to create a productive team and company culture with strong leadership skills and the ability to resolve conflicts in a constructive manner. This concludes the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Do you think you know what you should do to build a good teamwork culture? Let me know your thoughts in the comments box below. Remember to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. Make sure you also click on the bell icon to get notified of new videos.
Okay. Any insights, anyone? Volunteer? Any insights from the video? You're a very quiet team now, or unless you're also not allowed to on your mic. Anyway, okay. So we go on. So well, one insight maybe that I can share from the video is that a team is an all-powerful tool of any organization, okay, to be able to achieve whatever objective or objectives they may have. It can be as big as the company's mission and vision, right? Or it can be to be able to achieve a part of a business plan for the year, okay, or for the month, for example. It can be a lot of things, but my point here is that a team within an organization is such a powerful tool that in some cases it is the most important resource of any organization, be it a company, a government department, or even a sports organization, right? Okay, so let's go to performance management. I'll try to go through this briefly because there are a lot of technical things in here. But performance management, that's why we're going through this, is important in being able to manage an effective team because it sets parameters, it sets expectations, right? And it sets the tone uh, for each team member's expectation coming from a leader. Okay, so in managing performance of a team, you need to have a system. Okay, and the best system I've seen out there would involve what I have in the diagram, which would be first, there should have good performance planning. And performance planning can mean sitting down with each team member and telling them these are what are expected of you and getting their agreement to those expectations, right? But also, it's important that there has to be an evaluation, okay? An evaluation should have the right measures. How do I measure a team member's performance if there's no metric? Example, maybe a metric can be talking to 10 customers in one day. Okay, that can be a simple metric. Or another metric can be taking care of or resolving maybe 20 complaints from customers in a day. Now that's a bad organization because that's a lot of complaints. Anyway, just as an example, right? So that can be an evaluation. It has to be measurable. Okay. Next is there has to be monitoring. There has to be a transparent, shall I say, a fair and objective monitoring of each team member's performance. And so after that, if performances are, let's say, average or below average, the leader, the team leader should be able to have some improvement planning strategy. Okay. Um, it cannot be just, oh, you failed now, maybe you'll do better tomorrow. That's not exercising good leadership to me. Good leadership would be able to identify what improvements are needed from that particular team member, not the process itself, but improvement from how the team member executes the plan. Okay. And lastly, in every good, effective performance management system, there has to be values, okay, and rewards. It should recognize the value of the team member, but should be able to also reward the team member because of the value he or she brings to the team itself. Now, rewards can be it can come in the form rather of many things. Okay, and I've seen how effective non-cash or non-monetary rewards have been. Just being able to recognize the performance of a team member in front of his peers is such a powerful reward already. It can inspire and encourage an employee to go even further, to go even beyond what he has reached for that particular period. Okay. Now, just one item on performance planning. Um, I mentioned about mutual goals. Sorry, getting the team member to agree here in performance planning so that evaluation can be effective, right? So in performance planning, you need to have mutual goal setting. You cannot just, as a leader, you cannot just say, okay, this is your goal, and you'll be judged based on that. You need to have a conversation going, a very positive conversation going in being able to set mutual goals. But the mutual goals should be able to take into account the larger goals or the larger goal of the organization or of the team. Okay, it must be smart, and I'll go to that later. SMART is an acronym for setting goals. It must be smart, and there has to be core goals, meaning that whatever goal setting you have set with that particular team member, that particular goal or goals should embody, or rather, should be in the context of having the larger goal or target or objective of the organization of the team. Okay. Now, before we go into the SMART acronym, I'd like to share this with you, because it helps leaders. It has helped me in the past in being able to manage and lead my team, and that has to do with the behavior of each of my team members. All right, how I can influence or how I can drive their behavior. Okay, let me share four contexts of behavior setting. One is you send a signal to each team member. Okay, and the signals can be policy, maybe issue a memo, okay, or cite a particular policy of the company. Okay. The other would be to make sure that expectations are set. Okay, um, these are the behaviors that are expected of you. Maybe it can be in some companies, even the office attire can be an expectation. It can embody policy as well. Goals and standards, yes, absolutely. Okay, these are communicated, but I think the more subtle way of this would be on the culture of the company. And this is where a good leader should come in. He or she, if he or she is a good leader, should be able to embody, not just create, but embody the culture of the whole company or the whole organization. Okay, if it's not a commercial company. Okay. The enablers can be training. It can be the onboarding training of each new member of the team. Okay. It can be other tools such as maybe technological enablers. All right, as simple as a tablet to be able to bring to a customer to create, let's say, quotations or proposals for a customer. Okay. Another enabler can be coaching. Coaching is different from training. Coaching can be done one-on-one. Coaching can be done informally by the team leader. And lastly, resources. Resources that can be both tangible and intangible. Okay. Feedback should be timely. Okay. It should not wait for the following week, what has happened this week. Okay. If it is positive feedback, do it right away. If it's a negative feedback, that's quite tricky. You need to do it right away, but maybe in most cases you need to do it individually in private. Okay. and well acceptable. But what I want to say is it has to be agreed upon by both parties that this is a fair feedback, this is an objective feedback, and that this feedback is meant to create things better for the whole organization or the team. And it should help create positive behavior. Okay. Now, there should also be a context of consequences. I mentioned a while ago about carrot and sticks, but consequences can mean more of the stick than the carrot. Okay, carrots can be rewards, sticks can be sanctions or punishment. I'll write you up in a memo, show cause memo maybe, or it can be praise as well. I mentioned about recognizing good performance in front of everyone right away, or it can be pressure. Some people perform very well, very well under pressure. Okay, let's skip that and let's go to smart goals. Yes, I mentioned about goal setting. Let's go to smart. Smart is an acronym for your goals or target should be specific. Okay, it should not be abstract. Okay, um, a goal or a specific goal can be we will need to acquire 50 new card members for our credit card product this month. That's very specific. Okay, it's uh, measurable by 50 new card members. All right, but it should also be attainable. I cannot say we need to have 100,000 new card members for this month. That's impossible. Okay, with a team of let's say um, five five supervisors supervising each of them two teams, sales teams, offering cards to new customers. It should be attainable, but at the same time, it should be realistic. It should not be too low. Okay, it should be attainable, so not too high, but it should be realistic because it should take into account each of your team members' abilities to be able to reach that goal. And lastly, smart goals should be time bound. I mentioned about 50 card members during the month, during the quarter, during the first 6 months. It should be time bound, or else it's not a smart goal. Okay. Okay. Here we go. My favorite part, actually, successfully delivering change to your team when change needs to happen. These are famous brands that maybe, given your age group, you may not be familiar with on the top line, but are more familiar with for the bottom. So on the top are brands that you don't see anymore. That's the common thing. Below are brands that have um, either trailblazed in their own markets or have transformed themselves from being pioneers into now market leaders. Okay, and one common thing about the failure and success of these brands that I mentioned. For those of you who don't know, Nokia was the leading not smartphone, sorry, mobile phone manufacturer. Okay. BlackBerry was the leading phone brand before smartphones came into being. And Kodak was synonymous to imaging, cameras, films, whatever, all right? But they're all gone now. Why? Because the brands below were fortunate to have visionary leaders who uh, were able to see that things have changed and they had the strength to ride on that change Apple practically invented the smartphone, right? Well, practically because there were smartphones in the past, but they did not market it well. And Steve Jobs did a wonderful, wonderful campaign to market the Apple smartphone. Okay? Grab trailblazed ride sharing in our part of the world, Southeast Asia. It was started by maybe Uber, okay, but Grab took over Southeast Asia, and they even bought Uber out of the market. And Samsung, from white line appliance maker to a well-known brand for all things electronic, electrical, from your standard refrigerator in your kitchen to your smartphone to some other gadgets that I may not even heard of. So I'm sharing this because it's important for leaders to be able to recognize that there are winds of change. There are winds of change happening, and right now, with AI, with automation, and all these things happening in the workplace, all right, um, some some good visioning, if I may call it that, is needed to be able to recognize those changes and make your team, make your organization adapt to those changes, or you'll be always be remembered as, oh, Nokia was good, but they're gone now. BlackBerry was, I love BlackBerry, but I can't buy any BlackBerry right now. Or, oh, Kodak, I remember that from my childhood, but there's no Kodak right now. Okay, so principles of change management. What do good leaders need to recognize, to be able to create a good change management culture within their team? Number one, you need to lead with the culture. Okay? What's the culture of the team? Okay? Use that. Use that culture to be able to cultivate a good change management outlook or view from each of your team members. Number two, it has to start from the top. It cannot start from the bottom, because that process, while it can work in some cases, can be very, very long, and the pace of change can overcome that particular team. Next is you need to involve every layer of your team. Okay, um, change should be embraced by every team member. Okay, the good leader also needs to make both the rational or the reasonable and emotional case together. It has to come together. Okay, there's a rational case for it. If you don't change, we die. We are taken out. Okay, but there's an emotional case as well for that. If we make the change, we can come out on top and create a good legacy for years to come. That can be the emotional case, and that can inspire further action from each of your team, right? You need to act your way into new thinking. One phrase that's my pet peeve, okay, that I don't ever want to hear within a team is, this is the way we did it before, so this is the way we'll do it now because it has worked well before. Okay, and that's almost a guarantee or a prescription for failure. So you need to be able to act your way, or to think your way into a new kind of thinking, into a new kind of paradigm. Okay? And you need to engage, buy in, get the buy-in of each of the team members. If it's possible, all the time that you are together, engage. Nobody falls. Nobody falls from what is being done. Okay. You need also to lead outside the lines, meaning that in this case, that means that you need to be able to, while protecting your team members from the winds of change, you need to be able to face those winds head on. If it's a headwind, then face it head on. Okay. You need to leverage formal solutions. Okay. Use formal solutions such as maybe create new policies, okay, or create new processes to make it faster to deliver to the customer, to make the fulfillment center more effective, quick, and with bright, shining products, new products. Okay, but you also need to leverage informal solutions. Okay, informal solutions can be um, getting your team members to meet every day in the morning and say, okay, what do we need to do today to make things better from yesterday? What were the wastage from yesterday that we don't want to see today? Okay, you can have a 15-minute to 20-minute huddle, maybe team huddle, and see, and then need to be able to use whatever solutions you have talked about with your team members to get you through the day. Excuse me. And lastly, you need to be able to assess if that has been a success. If not, and this is where good leaders come in, you need to be able to recognize the error, if you will, I'll use that word, the error of your ways, and change or adapt to be able to get to where you want to to be able to weather the change. Okay, before I continue, we've gone through a lot, so there may be some questions, guys, you'd like to clarify. None? 1001, 1002, 1003, let's go. Okay. Lastly, okay, each team would have conflicts. That's inevitable. It can be small conflict, which is good, but it can be a game-changing conflict that can mean the demise of the team. So let me go through that briefly. Let's define conflict. Conflict is a disagreement or two individuals maybe having two different points of view. Now that can be benign, yes, but if the differences in points of view can mean inefficiency in the workplace, that becomes a problem already. Okay. Now in the video a while ago, you were told there that a bad team, creates difficulties for each other, right? Um, and so that can be a game changer for that particular team, all right? And so we need to be able to handle conflict within a team. And as the team leader, you need to be able to take on that role to manage the conflict. No other individual can do that or can lead that but you. And you need the following skills. One is communication skills. And by communication, again, I emphasize not just verbal communication. Okay, it can be written communication, it can be non-verbal communication, right? Coming from you as the leader. You know what worked well for me before was whenever I asked a question, uh, a big question about a problem, which is by nature a conflict problem within my team. There are some nonverbal cues um, that I exhibit to each of my team members, and one of them can be just keeping quiet, but looking at them in the eye before asking my question. That can be a very powerful nonverbal communication. You have to have emotional intelligence. You need to be able to apply, okay, in a timely manner when to show that you're upset, when to show that you're not upset, but you're concerned, okay? When to show that you mean what you say, when you do exercise authority, okay? But you also need to have empathy. Um, Empathy to me is very important because um, not only does it show to each of your team member that you are one with them, but it also benefits you as a leader because by exercising empathy, to me, empathy means putting yourself in that other person's uh, shoes and trying to understand why is he behaving this way. Oh, maybe because right now, the past week, he has had family problems. And he's had no problems. I've had no problems with him in the past. And maybe I need to cut him some slack. And maybe he just needs a listening ear. Empathy can do that. And it can be quite effective. But at the same time, lastly, you need to have creative problem solving skills. You know, um, creative problem solving skills can come in many forms, but let me share with you what I think is the best creative problem solving skills. And that is by being able to think outside the box. As a leader, you cannot be called a leader if you cannot think outside the box. You can be visionary. You can command respect the moment you enter the room. Okay, you have a commanding presence. But if you cannot think outside the box, your leadership skills may be severely and tragically tested in the future if there are problems, and there will be problems that needs thinking outside the box. So that's what I mean by creative problem solving. Okay. All right. Maybe I've done enough talking, and maybe it's time to turn to you guys if you have questions. I'll try my best to clarify some nagging thoughts in your minds.
Okay, I have some question to ask.
Sure. Yes. Go ahead.
That conflict, if it never been resolved or cannot resolve, then what's next? How do we do? Talk to someone else or ask someone to help it?
Okay. Thank you for your question. There are formal solutions to that. Okay.
Mhm.
There can be sanctions prescribed by, let's say, if you're in a company, there can be prescribed by company policies. Okay. The other is, and this is what I favor. All right. And it's a form of sanction, but it's really more an informal sanction. I would isolate that particular team member from the others by way of diminishing his or her role in the team for a temporary moment. Okay. And I'll make sure as the leader that I'll be able to have some time with that particular team member and go through the diagram I showed before, which is a performance management system. That presupposes that we have been able to agree on the expectations, there are rewards, there are valuing, and so on and so forth, right? And I, as a leader, was able to perform my coaching role to that particular team member. I would not go the formal solution right away, all right? Because I've always believed that you're part of my team because you have value, okay? You have certain value you bring to the table. Unfortunately, it may mean that the value you bring is in direct conflict with the value that another team member brings in. And so I need to be able to harmonize that. Now, if it needs me to temporarily relegate you to a more minor role so that the team can achieve its objective, then that's the painful thing that the leader needs to do sometimes. Does that help answer your question?
Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Any other question from the team, not the group, but from the team? No more? Okay, so if there's no other question, well, yeah, it's well, we spent maybe 15 minutes from trying to tackle the technical issues, but yeah, I think we spent enough time to have a good top view understanding of what it is to be a team leader, how to form your team, how to manage your team, and how to create more effective teams
All
for
right.
you in the workplace. So thank you very much for everyone.
Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you everyone for joining our sections today. And please don't forget to register on our website, talentwithacademy.com, and stay tuned for any upcoming course. And I think that's it. Have a good day. Thanks. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
เอ้ยค่ะคุณทิติมาตะกี้เหมือนคุณทิติมาโอเคไปแล้วค่ะขอบคุณค่ะ